All right, guys. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ryan, for being here.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. It's a
Definitely.
real pleasure. So this guy, I met him approximately 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, about 2-3 years ago.
About 2-3 years ago.
Mhm.
And I always see, something like when people say I'm successful, we're full of bullshit. But when other people around myself, they tell me this is the guy, listen to this guy. This guy is very successful in what he does. And not just one person, a lot of person. They told me that about you. And today I have the honor to have you in my podcast, Constructing Future. It's another episode right here. So we are here in Midtown, Miami. We're recording another episode. And I have the CEO of LC Financial Group, correct?
Yes, sir.
Ryan Lodi.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me, Davide, and hopefully, I can bring some value to the viewers and to the listeners. A little bit about myself. So, 26 years young, been in the financial services industry for the past 8 years.
Wow.
Jumped into it right out of high school. And now I'm building a 9-figure insurance agency where we help everyday individuals create a multiple 6-figure renewal income.
Wow.
So basically helping individuals go from trading time for money to being able to trade money for time, to build the life that they want, to be able to do what they want, when they want, at any level that they desire to. They have more time to spend with their family, go on vacations, right? Do what they actually want in life. Because many times what I've seen, whether it's in sales, whether it's just in everyday life, individuals, like they get stuck in this trap of, working the 9 to 5, living paycheck to paycheck, not having enough money to do what they want and when they want.
Mm-hmm.
And my passion right now is just really tapping into individuals and helping them unleash that spiritual power that they have within them and helping them really tap into their full potential.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that. And I feel like, as I said, 2 years ago we connected and we never kind of disconnected. We do courses together. We always, behind the scene, we were just talking about self-improvement and training and processes. And I think this is the key for being a successful entrepreneur. Do you agree with me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what gets you to financial services? Well, why?
It's a funny story, and a lot of my viewers know this, but I came right from high school, right? I know I didn't want to go to college. I'm like, man, I didn't like high school. Definitely not gonna like college. Had no drive, no purpose, no intention. I've heard it before, like you don't need to be 80 years old to feel like you're dying. Like you can be dying at age 20, right? You can be dying or like growing old at age 20. You don't have to actually be old to feel old. Like you can feel old because you have no purpose, no drive, and no intention.
Mm-hmm.
So that was me. That was me right out of high school. I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? I was going from 9 to 5 job to 9 to 5 job. And then next thing I know, I run into my cousin who was in the financial services industry. He's like, hey, look at how much money I'm making. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna go all in with it. And next thing I know, like about 6 to 12 months later, I had my insurance license and I'm producing business. I moved from Cleveland, Ohio, where I was born and raised, and I moved to a whole new state, whole new city where I knew no one. I had no sales experience.
Wow.
Jumped right into it, got massively uncomfortable. And that's what really allowed me to kind of catapult my career in the insurance industry. And that's now I'm just helping other people do the exact same thing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I really love that story. And I connect so well, guys, because I come from Italy. I came to this country 8 years ago. I didn't speak any English. I didn't know nothing about business. My father was a butcher. My mother was working in a bank. And I didn't know what to do in my life. I was in my middle of 20. I went to Australia. I lived 1 year there. And then I came to the US. And the only things I really knew, it was construction. So I decided, you know what? Let's continue what I know. And let's see how can I make a business out of it. And that's how I started. I started working with my hand. And I started making I was making $30,000 a year at that time. And then moving forward, like 8 years, right now we are in a 8-figure construction business, and I'm helping other people building their own construction business. And I feel like I can relate a lot to what you just said. I feel like entrepreneur is always like take a leap of faith without don't know nothing, and just take the first step and then commit 100%. Tell a little bit more about the audience about commitment. I think it's a big word for you, correct?
Absolutely. Everything in life revolves around commitment. You know, if you're not getting results in any area of your life, whether it's working out, whether it's financial results, maybe it's a better relationship with your spouse, if you're not getting the results that you desire and the results that you want, it always stems down to your commitment level. Commitment, as we both know, Davide, requires time and resources, right? Your time and money, time and your energy, your effort, your commitment, right? That's what it really all boils down to. So you have to be literally all in with what you're doing. And, you know, as you said, like entrepreneurs, it's all about taking those risks. And I say this all the time, like taking risks is less risky than not taking risks, right? We're brought up in a universe where it's been programmed to us as individuals to not take risks, right? To take the proven route, like go to college, right? Get a corporate job, which is perfectly fine, right? However, if you really want to excel and create true financial freedom and indestructible wealth, you have to move towards a more bumpier path. And that's how it was for me. When I got into financial services industry, man, it took me a year to really start seeing some type of results.
Yeah.
And that's how it might be for some of the viewers and listeners.
Yeah.
Like you might not be seeing the results right now, but always know that as long as you're 100% committed, you're in the right vehicle, you're continually training, right? Self-development courses, and you're connected with the right individuals, it's always going to work out, right? You have to remain faithful and have a high sense of belief in what you're doing, what you're growing, where you're going, right? And also tie it back to your purposes. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Who are you doing what you're doing for, right? And have that sense of duty and responsibility back to it.
Yeah, I think it's amazing what you just say, because I feel like I see 90% of the business they fail in the first 5 years. Because the first 5 years is when a business is really see if it makes it or not. But more than the business is actually the person behind the business. Like you're successful because you have that belief that even the things are not how it should be at the moment, but you always see the path. You always see what is coming next. And you always like having that purpose in life, how many people I can help, how many people I can impact. And that's like what drives us every morning to wake up and stand up, even in facing a lot of difficulties. Because I was talking to somebody today and she was telling me, I have my structured job, I'm 9 to 5, this is what I'm expecting to do every morning. But for us it's different. For us every day is competing with the rest of the world and a challenge that they coming in that. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
So if you are not, I would say, brave to stand on those things, you're gonna have a lot of trouble succeeding. Makes sense? So this audience is for constructing business, for business that are in business for like 2 3 years, and they wanna continue grow and scale. Okay. So what's your tip that you can give it to them? Still on the topic of commitment and continue like pushing through what we do.
I think one of the biggest things to really growing your business and scaling your business is going to be collaborations.
Collaboration.
Getting with the right people, partnering with the right people. Even if it means giving a portion of your business to these other individuals, like equity of your business to these other individuals, hey, do it, because you're going to be able to grow faster with a group of individuals than by doing it by yourself, right? You know, the stats say like, you know, there's 25 to 30 million like small business owners or entrepreneur business owners, and most of them are solopreneurs. Most of them are just operating by themselves. If you really want to grow a true business, like an 8-figure business like yours, Davide, or a 9-figure business, you need to hire employees, you have to have staff, and you need to really collaborate with the right people. So I'd say that's one of the biggest things that's helped me within the last 8 years of being an entrepreneur, is like collaborating with the right people, making sure that I'm connected with the right people, because as we both know, collaboration is a new currency.
Collaboration is key. And that's why we are here, sitting down here today, because I feel really we can share our journey and we can share the ins and outs of being an entrepreneur. It become more like a group effort to get to the next level, because there is plenty of money to be made, there is plenty of life to be impacted by that, but if we don't share the knowledge and what we went through the journey through each other, it's going to be like a lonely journey. Makes sense? So that's why we are here. This is amazing, and I feel like both of us, we're young. You're 26.
Yep.
I'm 33. We have like a long journey ahead, but our mindset, I feel, is different. Because you see something very interesting before. You don't want to work for your money. You want to have the money work for you instead. Can you explain a little bit more to the audience what that is about?
I always put it this way, like you can join a job, you can get a new career, you can join a new industry, and you can change your finances, right? Anywhere you can go, you can change your finances. You can get into solar, you can get into insurance, you can get into construction and in crypto, and you can change your finances. However, are you truly moving towards a path of creating true financial freedom, true indestructible wealth? What that stems down to is not just continually trading your time for money, but trading your money for time. And also, most importantly, making sure you're making more money because of your money than you are because of your time. If that makes sense. So we're trading time for money, right? But we want to go to trading money to create more time, and also having more money generated because of our money, right? We want our money creating money, right?
Money creating money.
Yeah, so passive income, renewal income, investments, right? And that's a whole other topic there, but it's crazy because most of us are financially illiterate. Most of us do not have financial intelligence. And that's one of the things that I continually dive into is like finances, right? And that's what holds a lot of, whether it's salespeople or just individuals back in the world, is that they don't have the correct financial intelligence. They're lacking financial knowledge, and they're lacking the data, right? We're programmed, as I mentioned earlier, we're programmed with the incorrect data. Save your money, find the cheapest gas.
Money doesn't grow on the trees.
Yeah, money doesn't grow on trees. A penny saved is a penny earned, right?
Yeah.
All of this, and save on your electric bill. Put more air in your tires so you can save more on your gas. Whatever it might be.
Yeah.
We're all programmed to think small. We're all programmed in kind of like to entrap us of how the universe wants us to be smaller. Right, we're being kind of crushed down by the universe, whereas you really need to just like break out of the cage that the universe tries to put you in.
I agree 100%. I think we both grew up in a family that had that mindset, like save the money. Money doesn't grow on the trees, and to really break that pattern and that things, you really need to change the association with the people that you are with. People that are already like using the money to create wealth and future financial freedom, like you say. And I think both of us, we have one of the great people in our environment, which is Grant. Do you agree that I consider him as a mentor? I consider him as a person that came from nothing and create the wealth for his family and the future generations to come. And I really look forward to spending time with those people and really learn from those people instead of pops and moms or cousin or friends that we always say things that to me right now really don't make sense. So how's your background and your family? You come from a rich family? You come from somebody like you?
Middle class family. Really ethical family. I'm very proud of that. Growing up in a very strong ethical family, and that's how I have a high standard of ethics, and I know you do as well.
Yeah.
And we try to align ourselves with those high ethic individuals. But yeah, growing up in a very small middle class family, clipping coupons, my mother, saving money on everything that we possibly can, anything to save money and it's a conservative mindset, right? It's a conservative mindset. It's a limitation mindset, right? Like there's, as you said earlier, Davide, there's no lack of money in this universe. There's no lack of money.
No.
There's only a shortage of people that are actually going for it, right?
Look around the building, the vastity of cars and everything that we have around.
Right, just look, right? Just look, see all the cars that pass you in a day, and add up all the worth of those cars. Millions and tens of millions of dollars. Go to a new environment, go to a new surrounding. That's why I love Miami. It's so prosperous, there's so much abundance, and it has me thinking big 24/7. And also, as you said, like connect with newer individuals, whether it's going to events, masterminds, boot camps. Spend the money to get into a bigger room, right? Attend events where power collects.
Yeah.
And that's really, like, you need to start making these different decisions than what you were programmed to make decisions on. And that's how you're going to really get outside of the cage that we're trying to be put in.
100%. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy is the guy. I already told you from the beginning. Yeah, I mean, I have audience of people in construction, but I know there is a lot of entrepreneurs listening to this podcast. So I want you to explain a little bit more the service that you do and the people that you can help. So maybe people here in the podcast or in the community can relate to that and they can be part of your community as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you allowing me to share the opportunity with your viewers. So we're in the financial services industry, specifically insurance. So we're dealing with the senior market. So we're dealing with seniors from the ages of 55 and above. We're helping them with their health insurance, which is known as Medicare. It's a government-provided health insurance, very regulated health insurance. And we're also dealing with life insurance and annuities as well. So we really just help people plug into a proven system, a proven structure that we've built within LC Financial Group, and they're just plugging and playing with us. We provide them the resources, we provide them the leads. They don't pay anything for leads, nothing for resources. They own their book of business, their 1099 commission, and within 2 years, you're gonna have, at the very least, a six-figure renewal income. So basically what that means is you're gonna have $100,000 of passive income that's coming in, whether you're working or not. Wow. And that's what I'm happy about and passionate about, is really helping people get outside of the day-to-day, like living paycheck to paycheck or not having enough money to do this or do that, right? And that's what I'm really passionate about. So that's what we do at LC Financial Group. If you want to learn more about it, you can email careers@teamlcfg.com, careers@teamlcfg.com.
Definitely. You should do it, guys. If you are in the financial service industry, you should catch this guy, because this guy is gonna go to the moon. So you can go together to the moon with this guy. I appreciate you to be here, because it's an honor. Learning from you and sharing the knowledge that we have. I think it's the fundamental of business. So right now, you say something about you want to build a 9-figure business.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yes.
So what do you think, again, is the different mindset from having a 8-figure business, I'm assuming right now, to get into a 9-figure business? What's the difference that you need to have in place to get to that level, I would say?
I think one of the biggest differences is if you're a CEO or a business owner, is really personally helping each of your executives and helping them envision where things could really go, really painting the bigger picture. So that's one of the biggest things that has helped me, painting the bigger picture for the executives. We have about 9 to 10 different executives within my organization, and helping them paint the bigger picture. And then also helping my executives paint the bigger picture for their team members, right? So it's like a family tree, right? All starts at the bottom, then you got little branches. So really just helping individuals really see like, wow, this is where it could go. And making sure that they're 100% committed and they're looking at it in a term of longevity, like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're truly looking for within LC Financial Group.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, I feel like saying that it's communication, you play a big role in that. Because if you are not able to transmit your purpose and your vision to the executive team and then to the managers and then to the other people that are in the organization, like the whole structure of the business is never working, correct? So how you keep the communication flowing with different, like 9 different executives, it's not a small company, you know. So 9 different executives, I'm assuming you're a manager under them. So how do you keep the communication in between all of those like departments to keep like growing together to see that vision?
Yeah, so something we do, we have 2 executive calls every single week. We have a COO call. So my COO, Benjamin Ange, he does a weekly call with each of the executives every single week, and ultimately just keeping the communication lines fluid. And something I'm also big on is just tapping into my executives once every day, right? Once, maybe every day, once every other day, and just tapping into them. Hey, how's everything going? What is wanted or needed from me? Is there anything I can do to help? And just continually pouring into them, continually supporting them, and making sure that they know that I'm there for them. And that's one of the biggest things, like, as you said, Davide, is just communication and helping them communicate better, right? Because communication is everything, especially when we're dealing with humans.
Yes, communication is everything. Emotion, people deal with emotion, but as a certain level of executive and CEO, you need to be able to detach yourself from emotion and like working on analytical standpoint and numbers, not through emotion. I feel you need to transmit that to your executive team, so they're gonna be able to perform like you perform without having the emotion coming through and actually affecting you, the business.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
100%. Yeah, there's a lot of, when you're building a business or an organization, there is so much human reaction and emotion. There's so much of it, there's an enormous amount of it. And you as a business owner, or you as a business owner with executives under you, you have to be able to handle people at such a high level. Hey, I understand, I'm with you, let's move forward. Boom. Like, okay, great, we're gonna get through it, we're gonna push through it, and just continually communicate that. Have positive, clear communication. And especially when you're being a leader in a business organization or a company, you have to have positive, clear directions and orders that people are actually compliant to, right? It's one thing to have the systems. It's one thing to have the policies and the structure in place. That's great. Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
But the other level of it is actually executing on those systems, the policies and the structure, making sure that they're actually being complied with, making sure that everyone within the business is actually following through. Because you want to build a business by design, not just by accident. You want to build it by design of how you want it to be built. It all revolves around culture, right?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
You use, I think, like 2 or 3 keywords that I always use it in all the courses that we create, because we help a construction business get from $500,000 to $50 million. So if you guys are in construction and you want to scale your business, DM me here and I will teach you how to do it. And but by the way, you say 3 keywords which are very, very important. I think one is leadership, the other one is culture, and then it comes to core value. I think you didn't mention core value, but it's connected to culture and leadership, correct? Which one play the most influential role in your business right now?
If I had to rate those in a scale of 1 to 3, I think it would be core values, leadership, and then culture.
Okay.
You got to have the core values in. The leadership team has to believe in the core values. They have to believe in the mission. They have to believe in the vision. They have to believe in the principles of the organization. And then the last is culture, like really infusing your core values and your mission, your vision, what the organization is all about. You have to infuse it into the culture and make sure that everyone believes in where the business is going, where the company is going.
Yeah.
Right. And that it's tough. You have thousands of people, right? Right now we have about 100 1099 individuals, and we're growing to 500 by the end of this year.
Wow.
And it's tough. It's tough, right? To make sure that everyone is believing in where we're going. They believe in our mission, vision, core values.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a non-negotiable. We got to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's where like having the core values first and like the principles is very, very important. And then the leadership and then the culture.
Hey guys, these are tips for a 9-figure business, okay? So take notes. I hope you're taking notes. We are live here as well. So if you don't take notes, you're missing a lot out of it. But I agree 100%. Like core values, if the people that you hire and fire are not aligned to your mission and vision of your company, you never be able to expand to a 9-figure business. It's never gonna happen. So I agree with you, Ryan. I think we got a lot of tips out of here. Do you have any things that you want to share to the audience that you feel is super important? Remember, we are financial service and construction industry. So if you feel like there is something that you want to tell them about your journey, feel free to do it.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is getting into a new environment, getting into new surrounding. So environment and surrounding, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, connecting with new people, networking with bigger people, reaching up in relationships, not just staying around your family or acquaintances from high school. Like, you need to get around people that are doing big things. You need to get around people that are going places, connect with them, spend money to connect with them, right? And then number three, just making sure you're in the right vehicle. Right. If you have those three things in, hey, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You can create as much income, as much revenue as you desire.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, and that's what I'll leave the audience out with.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I really feel like changing your environment, and we both did.
Mm-hmm.
You moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I moved from Italy to Miami. We didn't know each other. We just met like 2 or 3 years ago. And but we have the same mindset, and we be surrounded with the same people I was mentioning before, Grant Cardone, and we be to event of Bradley. We've been to multiple people that we are in the position where we want to be, and that's key to succeed, guys. So invest your money on yourself, invest the money on those events, and get with those people that they can stretch. And we can push you to the next level. Makes sense?
Because as we both know, there's a belief lid that we have. There's a lid of belief, and when you surround yourself with bigger players, or you get into a new environment or a new network, your belief lid kind of expands. It gets more open, right? And you're like, wow, like if they did it, I can do it, right? And that's one of the biggest things that's helped me, and just most importantly, just never quitting, like. Never quitting. Never quitting.
Failing, we always fail every day, but never quit. Just continue pushing forward.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know that I'm talking about myself, but I feel like I went too far from when I start to say, okay, I'm gonna quit. I can't. Like there is no option for that. So I just need to push forward. It's not always like a pretty journey. It's not always nice, but I just need to push forward, and that's where success. Then one day they say there is not such an overnight success because it's here. I'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Right. Just getting better every single day.
Yeah.
And staying target focused.
Yes.
Like, what is your target? What is your day-to-day target? What's the week-to-week target? What's the month-to-month target? What's the year target? And staying focused on the target. That is super crucial, especially if you're building a business, building a company. Your leadership team, your executives, your managers, and your people in your organization or company, they need to be focused on the target.
Always KPI and numbers, huh? Yeah, and targets. I love that. Now I have one personal question as well. I guess we come from a middle family and we are not programmed, like you say the word, to get taking risks. How you deal with that? Because the more like your company grows, the bigger the risk you need to take. And then sometimes you have this, I would say, like something in your stomach that's telling you, what the fuck? So how you deal like day to day with those decisions that sometimes are not easy.
Yeah, I have this stable datum that the hard decision is almost always going to be the right decision. There's going to be hard decisions that you're going to have to make, whether it's investing hundreds of thousands in your business, millions into your business, whether it's firing maybe even a top executive or top manager that just isn't complying with where your organization or business is going. You know, the hard decisions, maybe getting rid of people in your life, moving to a new state or a new city, right? The hard decisions are always going to be the most fruitful decisions. And the way to get past that uncertainty or doubt that you might have when you need to make a decision and it might seem a little risky, you might be scared of that decision, is, you know, you just need to start doing it. You do it on a small scale at first. Like you do it with the small things.
On a gradient.
Yeah, on a gradient. And the next thing you know, like you've been doing it so long and you've been building this track record, a track record of these situations that you've had in your life where you took a risk, you committed to it 100%, and you got a good result from it. And you've been doing that over and over and over again. So that taking risks now is just normal to you, right? It's just normal. It's an everyday activity. And you know that when you take risks, a good result is going to come. So you need to bypass and remove any of those past negative situations or experiences, because we've all had them before, where you take a risk and it might not have played out too well.
Yes.
Right? You invested $100,000 in your company and you lost that money. Like you didn't get a return on investment, right? But there's going to be times like that. And you need to remove yourself from the past and just be present moment, be in present time, and always know that, hey, taking risks is always going to lead you to greater things. Like those challenges, those tough decisions, there's always something greater on the other side. Always. Yep.
I really do. I really appreciate what you're saying, because most of the people get stuck in the fear. And that's where they most likely quit, because on the first obstacle they decide, no, it's not for me, I want to do something else, and then they go back building a future for somebody else that they actually have the gut to take the risk. So that's why we are here as entrepreneur, taking everyday risks and just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
No matter the outcome, of course you want to kind of predict the outcome, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But the most important thing is you just move forward.
Always move forward.
Always move forward.
And a thing that also helps me is just continually studying, continually learning, listening to podcasts, going to events, and connecting with other people that are taking risks on an even higher level than I am. Right? Because the highly successful, they've taken so many risks in their career, and you can hear about it, whether it's a podcast, an audiobook.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like if they're doing it, I might as well do it as well, because that's what's going to help me grow. That's what's going to help me grow my business.
And it's funny that you say that, because I was in the car this morning and I was listening to one of the book of Donald Trump. I don't what's the, have you heard about it? Like Don Dio or something like that. It's called the book. It's telling about the story of how he was like 25, 26 and start taking like big risks over development project that nobody was willing even to bid on it, because we were too challenges and we were too risky. But he wasn't listening to nobody. He was listening to the inside voice that say, you can make it, you will make it. And that's how he was able to pull it off. Like the person that he is right now, to making those huge risks and compounding one on the top of each other, and he becomes one of the biggest people in New York City, and well known. As a matter of fact, he became a president of the United States. So, but I'm sure at the beginning it wasn't like that. But then you say, like, we take continuously, like every day, bigger risk, and see the purpose and the vision in the future, and that's how we get to where we are. Yeah. And it's great, I love it.
Yep. Many people don't want to take risks. That's an indicator that you should take risks.
You should.
Many people don't want to get into sales. That's a clear indicator that you should get into sales. Many people don't want to become business owners. Hey, that's an indicator that there's a gap in, good business owners,
Yes.
right? Anything that people don't want to do is an indicator of what you could and should do,
Yes.
because that means there's opportunity within there. And that's what I thought when I first got into sales. I'm like, no one wants to do sales. No one sales is sleazy, right? All the misconceptions, the misnomers about sales, how sales is bad, and it's just taught that salespeople are greedy,
Yeah.
they're evil, right? They try to cheat you out of things. Like, okay, great. No one wants to do sales. I'm going to do sales. Right.
Sales.
No one wants to build a business and hire people and build a team and recruit people and hire employees. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because if people don't want to do it, that means there's a big gap. There's a big opportunity, right? If you want to live the life that 90+% of the universe is living, paycheck to paycheck, hardly even making enough money to help themselves, let alone support their group, support, maybe a charity, a foundation, mankind. If you want to live that life, just do exactly what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
If you want to create a life that's different, do what no one else is doing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Absolutely. I'm with that philosophy that when I go eat dinner, when I go vacation, when I go do my things, it's on my turn.
Mm.
I want to go to a 5-star hotel. I will be able to pay for that, not have no stress, no worried about it. I can choose, okay, tomorrow, baby, we're going to leave. That's it. I do it because I be able to decide for my future when 90% of the people, like you say, they are not. They're stuck in a job and they need to get pre-approved from the person to go for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
When you work the whole year for that person to make him go to vacation,
Yep.
which is crazy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that. And makes sense. Makes absolute sense. One another things, and then we wrap it up because I know he's a very busy guy, this guy, and I'm busy too. So I don't want to take too much of his time, but I'm very grateful that you're here.
Thank
With
you.
the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to King, to this podcast, because I feel like other people in the world needs to listen to those things. Needs to be able to get, okay, those people, they doing it, I can do it too. And that's the whole purpose of this Constructing Future podcast. One thing, you say decision, big decision, you make it on an analytical way, or sometimes you make it on your gut's feeling. Which one you choose?
Man, I would say it's more leaning towards the guts. Like if I have a gut instinct, I'm going to make the decision. Because my instinct and my gut is almost always right. Almost always right. Like I have a high level of perception. And in order to be a business owner, run an organization or a company, you have to have a very high level of perception. And that allows you to see like, okay, is this right or not? Like sometimes you're going to do it analytically. Me, I do it a lot on my gut and my instinct. If it feels right, because my gut has more than likely never really let me down. It's never really lied to me. There's been times when I went against my gut feeling, and that's when I get hit with a negative result, right? And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, maybe even yourself.
Yes.
There's been times where, our gut was telling us, oh, don't do it, but then we did it.
Yes.
And then boom, like negative result, negative impact, you lost money, whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
So man, always listen to your gut.
Always
100%.
listen to your gut. And I relate to that because multiple times it happened to me that I made a decision. My gut, it was telling me, don't do it. But like you say, I did it anyway because it was an easy return on money. And it was faster. And I said, it's going to be easy, everything work out. Yeah, I end up losing money. So I love that. And again, I don't want to take too much of your time. I feel it was a really great episode. I hope you enjoy.
Yes.
And the audience here. So where you can find, if you want to be in this financial services world and you want to work together to build a big business, he's the guy. So where they can find you, right?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook at Ryan Lodi. And then also, RyanLodi.com. And if you want to inquire about potentially joining my organization here at LC Financial Group, you can go to teamlcfg.com. That's a website. Or hey, even just shoot a direct email to careers@teamlcfg.com. So either paths work.
Great. And subscribe right here on Constructing Future Podcast. And we have a YouTube channel and Gaspi. So if you guys want to learn about construction and scale your business from $500,000 to $50 million, contact me, on Instagram, and I'm going to be your guy.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, brother.
That was great.
Good stuff.